All right, we're talking about chapters 2 and 3 here with this narrated lecture. So I don't have any PowerPoint slides to accompany this instructor lecture, just my face and some comments. So for this discussion board assignment on chapters 2 and 3, here's some of the key terms that you should grab out of each of those chapters. Starting with chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about economics. And for the economics chapter, the terms that you want to pay particular focus on would include the different types of economies where the text talks about capitalism and the rights of capitalism versus socialism and even communism. So check out all the isms, and you want to understand how they're different. You know, capitalism, your right to own your own property, more inequality of wealth. Socialism, higher tax rates, issues like brain drain, and more equality of wealth. And then communism, which you don't see much of anymore, but also called a command economy, and signaled oftentimes by shortages and surpluses, and the government owns all the factors of production in a communist setup. So know the different isms out of chapter 2. You also want to understand the term mixed economies. What is a mixed economy? As some countries that were previously more communist, such as China, are moving more towards open markets, more capitalism oriented. And some would argue on the flip side that capitalist countries, like even us in the United States, higher tax rates, government getting more involved in business, might be moving more towards a socialist setup. So, but please do understand specifically the definition of what is truly socialism, what is truly capitalism, and the discussion board will probably test your knowledge on that as far as is the U.S. a socialist country? Not in your opinion, I understand political opinions, but from the standpoint of the textbook and the specific textbook definition of what warrants a capitalist economy versus a socialist economy. That's your chapter 2 nuggets. For chapter 3, global markets, here we're looking at factors affecting trade in global markets. Factors affecting trade in global markets. And on the Google Doc study guide, that's shown in the 11th edition book as being page 73. Factors affecting trade, that's like social cultural issues and political issues, big horizon issues that can impact a business doing business abroad. And the company you're looking at there is Electra. They make all the beach cruisers and bike cruisers. It's an international company. What's it like for Electra to have to do business in multiple countries, and what are the factors, those global factors, that can impact how they do business in all these different countries? Factors affecting trade in global markets. And the second concept out of chapter 3 would be outsourcing. I'm sure we've all heard of outsourcing. I got outsourced. I lost my job. I got outsourced. Somebody in China is doing my job now. But understand the definition of outsourcing, and then you'll do some independent research on what are the new trends with outsourcing for businesses. And it's more than just outsourcing certain jobs or outsourcing manufacturing to China and that kind of stuff. So understand outsourcing, and you'll do some independent research on your own with the topic of outsourcing. That's chapters 2 and 3. Good luck. Thank you.